Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. What if one man's mysterious fall could shake an entire industry? What if a single night, a single party, could turn 17 lives upside down and question the moral backbone of Chinese entertainment? Tonight, we uncover the truth behind the boycott storm that has silenced screens, destroyed reputations, and awakened millions to the hidden power of public conscience. That night was meant to be one of celebration. A glittering gathering where the brightest stars of the industry met under chandeliers and laughter. It was the kind of evening that promised new beginnings, where directors toasted to future projects and actors exchanged promises of collaboration. Among the guests was Menglong, a young actor whose quiet charm and sincerity had won over audiences across Asia. He was never the loudest in the room, but his presence carried a rare calm, the sort of grace that only genuine souls possess. No one could have imagined that within hours, that same night would become the darkest chapter in the industry's recent history. When the news broke that Menglong had fallen from a high building, the world stopped. The official statement called it an accident, but the words felt hollow, too neat, too rehearsed. Friends described him as cheerful and focused just days earlier, preparing for his next role, talking about taking his mother on a short holiday. Nothing hinted at despair. Yet now, there he was, reduced to headlines and speculation. The timeline of that night grew murkier with every post, every leaked photo. Who was with him in those final hours? Why were certain names erased from the guest list? Why were cameras in the area conveniently under maintenance? For many fans, disbelief turned into grief, and grief into a desperate search for answers. They began to piece together fragments. A video of you leaving the venue alone, a blurred figure following behind, the eerie silence of his phone going offline at 2:43 a.m. The questions piled higher than the explanations ever could. His death, at first treated as a personal tragedy, began to look like the symptom of something much deeper. A sickness that had long been festering behind the glamour of Chinese entertainment. In the days that followed, candles lit the digital night. Millions of messages poured in, not only mourning an actor, but mourning the innocence the industry had lost. Menglong's fall was no longer seen as a coincidence. It became a mirror reflecting the cracks beneath the surface, the power, the fear, and the silence that ruled behind closed doors. And as the world watched in shock, one truth became undeniable. The night that was supposed to celebrate success had instead revealed the price of it. The shock of Menglong's death spread like wildfire, and within days what began as mourning turned into a nationwide reckoning. People who once scrolled through entertainment news with apathy now demanded answers, and the internet became a courtroom for the collective conscience. Hashtags calling for justice flooded social media. Photos of you smiling during his final public appearance circulated endlessly, each one becoming a symbol of something pure that had been lost. And then, almost overnight, the wave of outrage transformed into something far bigger. A storm of boycotts that swept through the film industry like a tidal wave. The first to be caught in its path was the romantic drama Fire Seed. What should have been a gentle love story turned into the center of controversy. The leading actress, Chen Haidong, was rumored to have attended the same ill-fated party as Menglong. That connection alone was enough to ignite suspicion. Yet the real explosion came when audiences began noticing something strange. Midnight screenings of Fire Seed were mysteriously sold out, while evening primetime slots sat nearly empty. Netizens dug into the numbers, comparing theater data, and what they found felt like a betrayal. Screens showing zero ticket scans were marked as full, and photos of empty cinemas appeared across online forums. The phrase ghost ticketing began trending, a haunting metaphor for an industry where even success could be manufactured. Audiences responded not with indifference, but with fury. "I just wanted to see a love story," one viewer wrote, "not a cover-up." The film's reputation collapsed in hours. Young moviegoers organized online movements to boycott it, arguing that art should not reward those who hide the truth. Advertisers pulled out, cinemas/showtimes, and the film's promotional campaign was quietly withdrawn. What began as grief for one man had now become a collective act of resistance. But the backlash wasn't just about one film. It was about trust. The incident revealed how fragile that trust had become between the industry and its audience. People were no longer content with glossy trailers and polished interviews. They wanted honesty. They wanted accountability. For the first time, Chinese cinema faced not only a financial crisis but a moral one. The loss of Menglong had become more than a tragedy. It had become a mirror showing an entire generation how easily truth can be traded for profit, and how power can twist even the stories meant to heal. As the outrage deepened, whispers began to take shape, and a list of names quietly emerged. 17 individuals said to be connected to that fateful night. Directors, producers, investors, and even actors who once stood proudly beneath the spotlight suddenly found their reputations slipping into shadow. Each name was followed by endless speculation, screenshots, and fragments of supposed evidence. Some were accused of using wealth and influence to bury the truth, others of staying silent when their voices could have changed everything. The internet turned into a vast investigation board, piecing together rumors like evidence, each thread leading back to Menglong's final hours. For those on the list, silence became unbearable. Some deleted their accounts, others issued vague statements denying any involvement. Yet the damage had already been done. In an industry built on image and perception, the mere hint of scandal was enough to destroy everything. Brand endorsements vanished overnight. Production contracts were suspended. Films that were once highly anticipated were quietly pulled from schedules. Careers that had taken decades to build dissolved in weeks. There were no formal charges, no trials, only the merciless judgment of a public that had lost faith. But beneath the noise of accusation and defense, something deeper was unraveling: the collapse of trust itself. For years, audiences had accepted the glamour and illusion of the entertainment world as harmless escapism. Now they began to see its darker mechanics: the manipulation of truth, the transactional friendships, the price of silence. The death of one honest man had become the thread that unraveled the entire fabric. People who once admired their idols started to question them. Could the same hands that waved kindly on stage also hide something unspeakable off-screen? Even those who were innocent felt the tremor. Young artists canceled promotions, fearing that one careless photograph, one old connection, could end their future. The industry froze under the weight of suspicion. What had once been a stage for dreams now felt like a battlefield of conscience. And in that uneasy silence, a grim realization took root. Fame in China's entertainment world no longer promised admiration. It demanded survival. The audience had seen too much to look away, and the question left hanging over everyone's head was simple yet devastating. If truth can no longer be trusted, what does success even mean? When the next storm, directed by Fong Li, became the next target of boycotts, many expected silence. But instead, Fong Li's team released a bold open letter denying all accusations and declaring the premiere date unchanged. This act of defiance was dubbed by netizens as the black and red legend. Was it courage or arrogance? No one could tell. Yet it showed something powerful: that even in chaos, some still dared to speak out, risking everything for their truth. The internet split into two camps: those who believed Menglong was silenced by the system, and those who argued that rumor culture had gone too far. For weeks, digital protests filled Weibo, TikTok, and international platforms. Some demanded every detail of the night be revealed. Others pleaded for compassion and restraint. And yet, one sentiment united them all. No one could forget Menglong. His name had become more than a tragedy. It had become a symbol of conscience in an industry that had lost its way. Today, the boycott storm continues to reshape careers and reputations. But beyond the scandals and rumors lies a deeper truth. Menglong's story reminds us that integrity still matters. His silence speaks louder than the noise, a reminder that kindness and honesty, even in the face of power, will never truly die. And maybe, this is the beginning of a new awakening for the entertainment world. One that learns to value truth over profit and empathy over image. If you believe stories like this deserve to be told, stories that search for truth, justice, and humanity, please subscribe to Update X24H and join us on this journey through the unseen corners of the entertainment world. Thank you for watching, and remember, in a world full of noise, your voice for truth still matters.